Hey guys, my name is Morgan and welcome to today's video. So today is a beautiful day, it is nice and warm, and I thought why not start some chili seeds. I found some chilies in the drawer in the pantry and then I was like, okay, sure, let's see what these things look like, and turns out they had a buttload of seeds in, so I was like, let's give this a try, let's see how it goes. So I'm going to take you guys through the entire step by step, making the mixture that I use for when I start all my seeds, and then show you exactly how I do my seed starting. So first things first, I need to get this little bucket container kind of thing. This is what I use to mix the soil and compost with a little bit of the organic grow fertilizer as well. This is the little patch that I'm using at the moment. I do still have these two massive bins here. These are stunted tomato seedlings. It's not nothing's growing out here. I just put them in there and hopefully they'll break down, we'll see. But this is what I'm using at the moment, and this is a compost bay or pile that I did have, and I've been using a lot of it for seed starting and for putting some on the soil for the beginning of the season. So this is kind of running out, but it should be fine for some seed starting now. And here I have a sieve that I made from an old HDH bucket, and I've drilled holes at the bottom here which are 1.2 centimeters, so that's 12 millimeters. And this serves perfectly for putting it onto the beds. I don't sieve when I put it onto the beds, but you can if you'd like to. And it also works pretty well for seed starting if I'm using 6-cell module trays. If I'm using the 200-cell trays, then I do sieve it through a 4 millimeter sieve, but this is what I'm going to be using for today. And then any of these bigger pieces, some of the leaves and some twigs, I just throw this on the compost. Now this bay is just horse manure that has broken down pretty well, so I do add the same amount as the amount I have in here already of compost, so it's 50-50. So then I mix that up and I do add a little bit of the sand as well, just because the horse manure and the compost that I have here, I do notice that it gets a little bit hard. It kind of like compacts. So I add some of the sand just to loosen it up, and then in the long run when I transplant again, I do notice that they are not as compact and they're not so hard on the roots, because the roots are kind of gentle and they want to go explore. So adding sand just makes it a little bit lighter. Now the final component to my mixture is some of the Organic Grow Power Frass. While I mix this in, let me talk a little bit about them. Organic Grow is an organic fertilizer made from the insect frass of over 10 insect species. And for people that are a little bit confused, frass is basically poop. So it's made from insect poop. Now that is so insane. That is really, really cool. Organic Grow is all about unlocking your plant's immune system, making your plants grow nice and big and strong without having to fight against pests and diseases. Here I'm using their powder form, but they do have a liquid form, so if you have a drip irrigation system or if you just like watering by hand, then Organic Grow is going to be the fertilizer for you. I do have an affiliate link that I'll leave in the description below if you'd like to check them out. Right, so now it is just time to fill up the seedling trays, and I'm going to be using the 6-cell seedling trays because I don't want to be starting 200, so I'm just going to use 6. I'll probably do 2 trays, so 12 seedlings in total, hopefully, if they all germinate, so we'll see. But yeah, now just fill it up and then we can start sowing. Right, so this is where I'm going to be keeping them. Once they have started germinating and I can see some of the growth above the surface, then I will move them into the automatic watering geyser tray. So then they will be a little worm. Then they'll be all good with watering, but for now I'm going to keep them out here, because if I keep them in here with the seeds that haven't germinated yet, then there's a good possibility they will rot. And also, because these seeds are a little bit old, I am going to be planting 4 or 5 per cell, just so that I have a little bit of a higher success rate with germination. And these are just regular chili seeds that we got from the grocery store, and then the chilies actually dried in the drawer that we had them in, and then when I broke them open the seeds just fell out, so I was like, okay, cool. So it's not any like special variety. I think it's 1,000 Scoville. I've written it down here. So yeah, just basic chilies. Just because we are expecting some really hot days and I don't want them to dry out, so I'm going to plant them reasonably deep so that it stays consistently nice and moist. And I will be thinning them out if there's more than one that comes up. Now just for a little bit of water, I'm going to give them a decent amount because the compost is not soaking wet and it is the middle of the day now. So just to prevent them from drying out a lot, I'm going to give them probably around 2 rounds of water. There you go. Right, and I don't usually label anything. I use my Instagram highlights as a way for me to check when I sowed them and where I sowed them. So if you'd like to check me out on Instagram at Morgan in the Garden, you can keep up to date with all kinds of things that happen around the garden on a daily basis. And that is all there is to it for starting seeds. 50% compost, 50% horse manure, and a little bit of sand and some organic grow fertilizer. That's going to be the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed and I hope you learned a little something about starting seeds. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and until next time, have a wonderful day and stay active in the garden.
Woke up in your new apartment in your twin-sized bed. Coffee starting, don't remember much. All I know is that you talk too much. Time to go. Ba-ba-dum, ba-ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-da-ba-bum, ba-ba-dum. You've got those big